What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to give you guys some Atlanta Falcons news. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support and continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So today in Atlanta Falcons news, the Atlanta Falcons have released safety Jaylin Hawkins. This is a surprise cut to me because Jaylin Hawkins is one of those guys that was a starter last year for our Atlanta Falcons, and he's played significant roles on this Atlanta Falcons roster for the last 3 seasons. He was drafted in 2020 by our Atlanta Falcons in the 4th round. And he was one of those guys that had a ton of playing time last year. He was the starting safety, both him and Richie Grant. And to me, Jaylin Hawkins is a guy who adds depth to this Atlanta Falcons roster. And you guys know I'm big on strength in numbers. I'm big on having guys because you never know when injuries may strike, when you may lose a player for the season, or when you may lose a player for a couple games and you may need someone to fill in that has experience. And to me, Jaylin Hawkins was one of those guys to me that was a key player for this Atlanta Falcons team. And he had a big role last year for our team. This season, he didn't have a lot of playing time because we did bring in Jesse Bates during the offseason. And also we did bring in DeMarco Hellams, who we drafted, and he played really, really well during preseason and during training camp. So I really believe that was one of the reasons why Jaylin Hawkins became expendable, because we have other guys on this roster and because we're really deep in our secondary. We also brought in Micah Abernathy during training camp. He's another guy I believe we brought in over the offseason, who also is a young player that also plays that safety position as well. And we have a lot of versatile pieces in this secondary. So was a surprise cut today seeing Jaylin Hawkins get released by our Atlanta Falcons. He is one of those guys that had 4 interceptions in his Atlanta Falcons career. And he was one of those guys, like I said, that made a couple splash plays for this Atlanta Falcons team. And I thought that he would possibly play a role on this team, on special teams, and possibly be one of those guys that they can use as a linebacker, because we have been playing Richie Grant and kind of bringing in safeties to play that linebacker position or play that box safety position during 3rd and longs in different situations when we kind of play like a big nickel. So I was surprised to see them release Jaylin Hawkins today. Personally, I don't agree with the move of releasing Jaylin Hawkins, but I know that Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith may have something up their sleeve. Maybe they want to add another player to this 53-man roster at another position because we're really deep, at that safety position and really deep in the secondary. Or maybe they just want to give DeMarco Hellams more time because DeMarco Hellams is one of those guys, like I stated, who did play really well in the preseason, and he's starting to get snaps. He's played a little bit during this regular season as well. So whatever the reason is, I wish Jaylin Hawkins happy trails. I'm sure another team will pick him up because he's one of those guys, like I mentioned, that can make plays at time and did make plays for this Atlanta Falcons team. Is a pretty solid tackler as well, a pretty physical safety, but a guy who can pretty much do it all in coverage, and a guy who can make tackles in open space. So I definitely think that he'll be picked up by another NFL roster if he's not brought back with our Falcons on the practice squad. I doubt that our Falcons will bring him back because we have so much depth in the secondary. But this was a surprise cut to me, just for the mere fact that Jaylin Hawkins is one of those guys that have experience. So if someone did go down with injury, he is a guy that you could bring in, and he already has chemistry with the guys on this defense because he was a starter last season. So as I mentioned, this was a really surprise cut by our Atlanta Falcons. But you guys give me your thoughts on Jaylin Hawkins. Do you agree with him being cut from our Atlanta Falcons roster? What's your thoughts on that? But with that being said, this be your boy Jew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed, peace.